Howdy, howdy, folks. A-Train here with you for the first episode of Roller Coaster Tycoon. Now available on Steam from Chris Sawyer Productions, later Atari. We're not playing the Atari version because screw those guys. Let me see here if everything's sounding okay. Somebody give me an audio check. That'd be great. Let me know how it sounds. Let me just check this here. Oh, I can hear me. Oh, and I can hear music coming through and sound coming through. And I'm getting a warning that the bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. Well, geez Louise. I think I was getting 40 FPS on this yesterday. So, we'll make it work. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. It's a Sunday fun day, and it is cold here in Dallas with a capital C. Crazy cold. All right, I've got that screen up. This screen, we're ready to play the game. Let's just play the game. All right, check it out. Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. All right, so what I've got here, this is Open RCT2. You see the logo in the upper left-hand corner. This is a free download you can get on your PC, and what it does is basically they've rewritten the code from the original Roller Coaster Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, which basically was the same, more or less. And they draw in all the elements from the games. So you have to have the discs. If you've got the disc tucked away somewhere, all right, you'll need the discs, or just download the game off Steam. It's going to cost you less than $5 for both 1 and 2. So you get all the parts. All right. You may recognize the menu stuff and whatever down here at the bottom. Is that really loud, or is that just my sound in my ears is really loud? Let's see here. Settings are going to be not there. Options. That's where the settings are. Let me go here. Oh, I want the ride music up a little bit. Oh, that is the ride music. Okay. Bring the sound effects down a little bit. And see, you can do different title screen musics and stuff here. So it's kind of cool. There's just so much cool stuff. I'm playing in windowed mode because that's the only way to stream. At least I figured out. Let's see. It does some cool stuff here. You can cycle day and night. So they kind of brought some modern aspects into it. You set all your language stuff, your sound stuff, your color stuff, your themes. Show toolbar buttons for... I don't want to do cheats. I don't want to do chat. Mute button in the... There's a separate button for the mute button. Oh, you know what? Let's put that in there. That might be good to have. You set up your controls and stuff here. I actually inverted the right mouse dragging. Names and stuff. And then you put in your RCT1 installations location, so it can pull all that stuff in there. All right, cool. There's your settings. That's how you set this up. By the way, this is Six Flags Magic Mountain. In Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, they got licensing with Six Flags, and so you have Six Flags over Texas, Magic Mountain, which is Valencia, California. I think you have Georgia, Belgium, Great Adventure, Holland, Magic Mountain over Texas. Those are the parks you get. And then the original game had Alton Towers, Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and Hyde Park. And there's some interesting rules to the British parks. Like some areas you can't build above the tree line. So it's really kind of crazy. It's like, damn, how are you supposed to make a roller coaster if you can't build above the tree line? Well, you start in the ground. You build at the edge of a cliff. You gotta be creative. They had to be creative with that stuff. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna start with so this is the basic game, is RCT. Then they came out with Corkscrew Follies, and they came out with Loopy Landscapes. So that's all part of the Deluxe Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe. Get that, and then get Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Triple Thrill Pack. which has Wacky Worlds Time and Time Twister. So it has like all three, all right? And there's all kinds of parks to play through these, and as you do parks, you unlock parks. So you saw the check mark there by Electric Fields. That's what you see in the picture up on the screen, the thumbnail, because I played that yesterday to kind of refamiliarize myself with the game. So we're going to jump into Forest Frontiers. All right, so we got pause button. Ah, there's the mute button. Gotcha. Cool. All right. So you got your speed controls, pause, and all this stuff. We're going to hit pause here real quick because the clock will start ticking. It's down here in the bottom right. It's your calendar. You're open from the 1st of March to the end of October. That's your season. Speed control, savings, mute, zoom and out, rotate left and right. I need to set those up to hotkeys so I can use like the, rotate keys without having to use that. The eye thing was, yeah, it's different views. And then there's the map. Now, this actually shows, excuse me, I'm recovering from a minor case of the flu I had into last week. Well, I'm trying to drag this out. It didn't want to drag out. Well, that's okay. Anyway, all right, so what else do we have? We start with $10,000. We have 0 guests. And then there's our park rating below that, which is a number between 0 and 999. The white fenced area is the perimeter of the space we have available to work with from the start. Now, we do have options. Let's see. There's your park size. This is the, okay, if we click this, you can see the current park area with the grid on it. You can turn that grid on and off. I kind of like the grid on. It just makes it easier to help build and reference stuff. But the areas with all the little white flags, that's space you can purchase, all right? So you can expand the park all the way the hell over here, which is kind of neat because, pardon me, these things right here, let me see here, bulldozer, clear scenery. Can I? Nope, not that. Not that. Mine shaft. Right click the. All right, watch it. Ah, we don't have it. Oh, wait. It's paused. Show me. Ah, we don't own in the park. Okay. Any stuff like that, existing paths, anything like this is a way for you to get extra money from the start. Okay? So like electric fields that I was doing yesterday, there's all these paths all over the place. And if you delete those paths, you get $10 back per square. So obviously, if you delete 100 tiles, that's $1,000, and that can matter early game. So something, a strategy to kind of keep little scenery pieces and stuff like that. I mean, if you want to work around them or work with them, whatever, that's great. It's cool, casual. So that's how you can see what you can buy land-wise. I don't think you can expand too much this direction. It's just basically this area over here. But otherwise, you can go over to that little pond area. We won't need to. Our objective, which is here, is we need to have 250 guests in our park at the end of October year 1 with a park rating of at least 600. This ain't going to take long. All right, so this will just be like an introductory episode. Whoops. And so I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm just looking here. YouTube has changed here in the last few weeks. So, anyway, let's go back to this. Turn that off. You can locate this on your main view. You can change the park name. We're not going to bother. You look into your rating stuff here. You look at your guest numbers here. Here's your admission fees. Okay, there's 2 different ways to make money: charge at the gate and or charge by the ride and the stalls. You can even charge to use the bathroom if you want. I advise against it, but nowadays, even in Europe, they're doing that stuff. Hang on a second. Okay. All right. So we need 250 people, and then these are the awards and stuff, and we'll play beyond the start. So we know the space we're working with, which has happened. Good land rights. Oh, yeah, I want that turned off. All right. So removing trees costs some money. In some parks, you can't remove trees at all. You have to work around the trees. And in some parks, you can't change the terrain. You have to work around it. So you got your construction, ability to change your, it's your terraforming here, add water here, scenery stuff here, path stuff here, rides here, your money here, okay? What's making money, your financials. Excuse me. Your wizard stuff here, okay, here's your research and development. We'll look at that in a second. This is why you got to pause when you start, because this stuff changes from park to park. This is your ride list. This is the entry. This is your staff. You got cleanup guys and gals, maintenance people, security people, and entertainers who go around in suits and dance and, you know, make the kids happy. And then you got your peeps, and then you got announcements. All right. Bottom right, it's got your weather conditions and what have you, and the time of year. Bottom left, money, guests, and park rating. All right. Everybody on board? Cool. So, first thing you need to do, besides pause, is see what you've got available to work with. All right. So on this tab, you've got transport rides. So we have a train, miniature railroad. Okay, that's fun. It's a gentle ride. So you have basically 3 groups of transport rides. At least the train qualifies as gentle ride. The monorail does too. I think the sky chairs do too. So this is to just move people around the park, which gets them off your paths for a period of time. They'll pay a little money, ride around. It's kind of fun to, you know, like if you have a station here at the front of the park, you have the train go around, and maybe you have a station over here at this back corner, and then you have some cool rides and stuff back over here, and then have the train continue around, and then maybe have another station back over here in this corner, or if you extend it out this way, you know, with the expansion of the property, and you put a station over there, and then maybe you have another cluster of rides and stuff. So you want to have like a, you know, a big attraction ride, roller coaster type thing, and then maybe you have one, you know, up here at the front. All right. So that's what you use to get people around. Otherwise, they're going to be on your paths. Now, you can double wide, triple wide your paths and what have you. The paths will get busy at a certain point. The key is to spread people out. So you don't try to cluster everything at the front gate. You want to draw people into the park, deep into the park. That spreads them out. Then you don't have to worry about people complaining about it being crowded. You want to cluster rides together. Some people like gentle rides. Gentle rides. Here we have a haunted house, a merry-go-round, a little car ride, and a slide. Okay? That's for the kids who, you know, don't want a whole lot of thrills and stuff. They'll pay a little bit of money for this, maybe $1 or $2. And then after a while, after the popularity falls off, you know, charge a little bit. This is where you have to balance charging per ride or charging at the gate. Charging per ride is a good way to start. Charging at the gate, you're going to wind up spending money to make money. So you want to set up a cluster. So you may do a merry-go-round. Okay. Now the next tab is coasters, but we're going to come back to that. Then you have your thrill rides, which we have the twist, the spinning stuff arm thingy, like an octopus ride, and then the swinging pirate ship, which is a classic. Okay. Except they just took that out at Six Flags Over Texas to make space for Tortura, the new record-setting Bollinger and Mabillard vertical drop coaster. Yes. So you would put, say, the merry-go-round, twist, which is on the weekend. This one's a little stronger as far as your thrill capacity. Water rides, you have boats, which means you have to make a pond. You don't have a pond, then don't worry about it. And then here's your stalls that you have available. I think you'll always have restrooms available at the beginning. And then it gives you burgers, ice cream, and sodas. All right. Don't charge more than $3. I think that's about the most you're going to get on these kind of deals. So that's important. Now, so back to our cluster. Gentle ride, thrill ride, coaster. Now, here's what's important. There's like 20 types of coasters. We have access to 2. And here's where a little bit of time can be spent. Like I spent a couple hours last evening playing around on the sandbox mode. It's a coaster designer mode. I meant to show you that at the beginning, and I didn't. It was in that red case. And it allows you basically to open up an empty space, pick what kind of coasters you want to fart around with, like the wooden coaster or the mini coaster in this case, and build to your heart's content. And they've got all the ones that are in the game, so you can take those and modify them and then save them as new files. Like they have, maybe you're familiar with what's called the Vekoma Boomerang. Vekoma is a coaster manufacturer. They have coasters all over the world. The Boomerang is very simple. There's a station. You get in the train. It backs you up a hill, drops you down. You go through the station. You go up a half loop. You go with what's called a Cobra Hood element. Half loop into a half corkscrew, into another half corkscrew, into a half loop. All right. So then you're going 180 degrees opposite the direction you were going when you came into the element. So say you're going westbound, you go half loop, half corkscrew. Then at that point, you're upside down going south. Half corkscrew, and then half loop, and now you're going east. Okay? And then it takes you through a vertical loop, and then you go up a hill, the train stalls, and then it goes backwards through the whole thing again. And then it goes through the station, and then slows down and it goes up the hill a little bit and slows down, lets you back in the station. Boom, you're done. It's a thrilling coaster. But the, I'm not sure if they call it flashback. We'll have to see. If they call it flashback, that's the ride at Six Flags over Texas that was taken out and got replaced with the Riddler coaster. It's that purple one that does multi-axis stuff. That's over in the corner there of Gotham, where Flashback used to be. So anyway, it's a very simple coaster. Also, it's inexpensive, and it will make you a lot of money. The problem is the one that's built in the game doesn't feature an on-ride photo section. And that's a big money maker. So you could, when you open a brand new coaster, you could charge like $5 per kid to ride it. But if you don't have an on-ride photo section where it takes your picture while you look like an idiot screaming your head off, that's like, you can charge like $250 for a picture. That's a 50% increase on your income per kid. Now, not every kid's going to buy a picture, but you make a ton of money with them. All right? Don't miss out on that revenue. So if you use the pre-built coasters in here, oh, shite. No, where's my coasters? Ah, poop. I wonder if it doesn't have this because I built it. I built them. Maybe that's the case. That's okay. I remember how the design went, so we'll get it done. Because they haven't translated the names of these correctly. Not that it matters, but look, that's a $32,000 coaster. The question is, do they have an on-ride photo section? If they don't, you're missing revenue, okay? So it's very simple. All right, so let's back up. Excuse me. So we also have classic mini coasters. And this one doesn't have the ones I pre-built last night either. Well, nuts to that. I wonder if I've got, well, no, I saved it. All right, we'll figure that out later. But you can see these designs. There's the cost at the bottom. Some of them are $7,000. Now, each ride has an excitement rating, an intensity rating, and a nausea rating, barf factor. All right? And it'll tell you the max speed, the height, average speed, length, your vertical G's, positive and negative, your lateral G's, which is your side-to-side G-forces, number of drops, highest drop heights, all that stuff. All cool stuff. All right? Blah, 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 blah. But the whole point of what I was trying to say is it helps to have some pre-built, inexpensive coaster designs. So when you go in to do a scenario, you start, click, drop, Boom. Bob's your uncle. Hook up the entrance and the exit. You're ready to open. Throw some scenery in around it. Bada bing, bada boom. And it's real quick and easy. Quick, dirty, easy, done. Money. All right. That's how you get going. Now, here's the thing. We're going to wind up having to do that ourselves. All right. So here is our research and development. This tab allows you to choose no funding, minimum funding, normal or maximum. So this is $100 a month, then 200, then 400. We're going to go to maximum, and we're going to turn off transport rides. We don't care. Water rides, we don't care. We're going to do roller coasters and shops and stalls until we get the information kiosk. That's one you want from the get-go, and it doesn't give it to you for a reason. Money. It sells two things, park maps and umbrellas. Guess what it does in the game? It rains. Kids want umbrellas. And then there's certain rides they won't go on when it's raining, which is why you have to have silly stuff like the haunted house or the merry-go-round. Those are dry rides. Dodgems or bumper cars, as they call it. They call it Dodgems, I guess, in Britain. That's an indoor ride. These are outdoor rides. People won't go on these when it's raining, but there's other things that they will go on. They probably, when it's raining, what they'll tend to do is either go on the covered rides or they'll go eat, spend money eating. Okay? Now, you can cover a roller coaster to create an indoor ride so kids will go on it, like Runaway Mountain at Six Flags Over Texas. So that works out, right? And then transport rides, I think, are dry as well. So that's important. Now, all that said, we're going to do max funding, roller coasters, and shops and stalls. Excuse me. We have two coaster types we can work with. However, there's no on-ride photo section option for the junior coaster, right? For this one. Mini roller coaster, okay? There is for the wooden. So we're going to want to take advantage of that. That said, there's one thing I think I'm looking to do here right now. And that is, let's see how much this is going to, oh, it's pause. Crap. All right, that's $30. I kind of feel like spending a little bit of money to open this space up just a little bit over here. I think that'll do. All right. So now, we don't have the park open yet. What we're going to do is get this ready to go. We need some pathing. Turn that off. Go to paths. You have on the ground paths, you have queue lines, and then you have elevated paths. And then this is your flat. This allows you to elevate. And I'm not sure what this is. If it's underground, whatever. Wait, it did come up there. Hang on. Oh, drag an area of footpath. Oh, that allows you to make bigger areas of footpath. That's kind of cool. Okay. Now, under each footpath you click and hold, you've got different styles of textures. Like you've got, a tarmac, a concrete, dirt, stone, fancy tiles, grass looking, whatever. So you can select all that. Under your queue lines, you have 4 options. Red, yellow, green, blue. Okay. And then here's some other styles of paths. You've got like wooden boardwalk, fancy one, a space style one, and bamboo railing. All right. I want to kind of keep things simple. So all you got to do here is click and drag. But we kind of want to think this out just a little bit. How do we want to start the park out? How do we want to greet people and welcome them to the park? There's a couple of ways to do this. The classic way to do it would be to just kind of do this. Let's just open this up a little bit this way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll do that. Now I can right click to remove and I get my $10 back. All right. It costs 12 to build. You get 10 back. All right. So we're going to do just the standard kind of simple entry, and that's going to be with the merry-go-round. All right. So we want people to see and be able to enjoy the merry-go-round. We will. The queue lines get a little hinky on this, but that's okay. Here's a couple things to queue lines and exit lines from a strategy perspective. Oh, you can raise these up and down, by the way. You push the shift key, and then you can start raising and lowering the ride. Okay? So that's just, I don't know why the bigger area is appearing around it. Oh, you know what? I think I know. No, that's not it. Okay. Which, there's a thing to be said for this. You could, like, make a platform, raise the land up underneath that ride, just to make it a little more prominent, so it looks kind of cool. You still have to figure out the entrance and exit part. So if you wanted to do that, in this case, you'd almost go to 5 tiles, right? And let's see. This is going to be... No, that's not how I want to do it. You want to do 3 tiles in the middle. No, that's 4. There's a couple ways to do it. It would actually save mine to do it the simple way. Hang on just a second here. Excuse me. Damn, I still have this congestion going on. Anyway, all right, we're not going to far around with that, because you could screw around with this all day long. Is the thing, is it gets complicated. Sometimes you want to drag people deeper into the park, okay? But you kind of want to have multiple rides together so people have options, right? So what we'll say is we'll do this right here. And if we plan on... Okay, I have a plan. We're going to plan on an entrance back here and the exit right here. All right, so there's that. Now when you get a ride placed down, once you get the entrance exit, you go to test mode, and then you go to open. Okay, so there's those 2 aspects to it. You can also change the name with this tag right here. All right, so see how it says merry-go-round 1? There's only going to be 1 merry-go-round. So we'll just do that. Okay. You want to change the colors on the ride. I mean, there's some, tells you your capacity, tells you your number of rotations. You can change that. Wait for a full load, or it can, minimum wait time for this. So if the things kind of slow down, it adjusts whether it'll go or not. That's more critical with roller coasters. Here's your reliability, and this goes down over time, over the years. Your downtime will increase. You have a maintenance person. Inspection times you can set. It can be less for flat rides, but you want it to be more often for roller coasters. So again, those are your money makers. You want those to stay up and running. All right, so here's a roller coaster. Also, you can change the colors. Say we want to do red and white. Cool. You can change the entrances to a different series of things. Canvas tents, abstract, blah, 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 blah. For theming, theming's always fun. All right. So we'll do canvas tent, and to go along with that, we'll do the red. All right. So now I'm going to go to the red. All right. Information kiosk is done. All right. It's done cooking. Quick. Pause. Okay. That's what we wanted. Okay. We screwed around long enough to get what we wanted. So now we're going to turn that off and focus strictly on roller coasters. We don't get thrill rides. That's all we get. So we're 1 month into the game. We have 0 people in the park. All right. So we're going to go, not that. Nope. Here, red. We can't build while paused. So we're going to run this over to here, and that's going to be it. That's going to be our queue line. And then what we'll do is we'll just connect across this. Oops. Okay, cool. All right, so there's our queue line. And then we'll just kind of extend this off that way. And then on this side, we'll extend this off this way. Now, so now we have a gentle ride. Okay, we left room around here for scenery and whatnot. What we're going to do though is we're going to put a information kiosk right here at the start, like that, and we're going to set the price for a park map at $1, and the price for umbrellas is $2.50. Actually, I think you can make it $3. You can take the prices up. The people will tell you if they don't like the prices. If they, I'm not paying that much for a map from Information Kiosk 1. Also, you can change the umbrella colors and stuff. So we'll hit random and let people get that. That's an interest. That wasn't in the game originally. That's something these guys have done to the game with Open RCT. You can change the colors, and there's a whole bunch of color choices. But it's super cool there with that and with the balloon stall, which is another good money maker. All right, so since we've got that, we're going to put a restroom in right next to it. And boom, those are going to be covered. All right, we're not going to charge for it. Okay, same price. You don't have to click that. Okay. All right, so now those are done. All right, so now we're going to build a thrill ride. And I think we'll do yeah, we'll do swinging ship. This is fun. Rotate it right here. Okay. There's a couple different ways you can do this. I don't want to do it over here. I want to save this for a little mini coaster, for a junior coaster. We're going to put that there. Now, we're going to come up here, and we're going to take this, and we're going to drop this and this. Then we're going to use this slope tool thingy. Oh, wait. Oh, and you can change the ground, the terrain here stuff too. Now, see how, all right, there's different ways you can do this. I'm going to try this. See, nope, that's not what we wanted. It's kind of what we want, but it's not what we want. All right, so we're going to do this down. That's what we wanted. All right, so I'm going to bring this up. Shoot, I need to rotate around so I can see what I'm doing. Because this just went silly on me. All right, I'm going to go to this square. We're going to go up and down. Okay, now, did you see the effect that had? See, you can select the whole square or just a corner. If you just want to lower this corner like this, boop, that's all you do. And then the next one, you can drag that down. You see how that's working? All right. In this case, I'm going to take the whole square. So you catch the corner or the whole square. Here you can see I've got the whole square. I'm going to come up with it and then drop down. And it brought everything down with it. Okay. So same deal here. Up, down. And now it's actually doing what I want it to do with the water area. I want to have just a little slope down into the space. We're going to go right here and go up, down. And then this one here, up, down. Beautiful. That's it. I think we're all set. So now we got a water area for our swinging pirate ship. So now we go into the water selection. Boop, boop. Okay. We can go to here to the big one. And we're just going to raise the water up like that and like that. Cool. All right. Kids like that. That adds to the scenery around the ride, and it makes it more appealing. Now, if you want to do fun little stuff, like we don't want kids falling into the water, right? You can pick different fences and what have you. I mean, you could do just simple little mesh fence, or you can do these kind of deals, or these kind of railings, or, you know. I kind of like this deal, all right? And what I'm going to do is put it not on the path side. See, there's a path side to the tile, like this, and then there's this side. Okay, so you see how it identifies what that's there. This is hyun. Da hyun. Okay. I'm gonna put these on the water side. So I don't want this square to be lit up. I want the slope square to be lit up. Okay. Now, we're actually kind of wasting time here, but that's okay. Okay, our exit's going to be there. Really, you want to get the park open and money coming in before you go dinking around doing all this. And you don't have to do this. This adds to the appeal of a ride from a beauty standpoint. Okay, so now, right here, okay, don't run the path out there yet because you want to do, oops, wait, we got to do this. We got to do the entrance. We're going to do the entrance on this side. Looping roller coaster, excellent. That's a good thing. I may have goofed this up a little bit. I should have the path each a tile further out than I do. So let's do that. Let's fix that real quick. Why is that a problem, A-Train? Well, I'll show you. There's a it becomes a spacing issue here. And, oh, there's a duck flying over. Ducks will land in your water. Okay. So if I turn this off, you can make the ducks quack by clicking on them. I know, it's stupid, but whatever. I don't care. Okay, so now, see there's a duck in the water here with the pirate ship. Oh, wait, that's supposed to be the... Oh, that is the entrance. All right, the exit now. Wait. I'm going to do the entrance on the other side. Boop. And the exit on this side. Boop. Okay, cool. So now you got to walk the plank. You got to walk over. And we'll do, we're going to do this. And then see the arrow thing here? It allows me to click that. And now... whoops. Oh, that's the railing design. I got you. Sure, we'll do this one. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the concrete, okay, to the just tarmac. All right, now, if you do this, you can just kind of steer this. Okay, so now we're good to go there. And then we're, nope, that's not what we want. What we want to do is then click that, and then we want to go, yeah, this side. But before we do that side, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Swing the view around that way. And we're going to do this. And then we will run this. Maybe this. Nope, not that direction. This direction. There. Okay, now we're going to go here. And now we're going to create the path here. And then we're going to steer the path that way. Cool. Good. All right, now we have 2 rides ready to go. All right. Now what we need to do is we're going to put this in test by clicking on it. And actually put that in test too. Cool. Got it. All right, so that's got those 2 things up and cooking. We still have to do a couple of minor details here. One is connect this path here. Out here. So that gets us an extra tile there. We turn this way, we can see it better, and then we need to connect this path here. Under this section here, you go to these signs and stuff, you do these things. And you can see you can rotate them. This is a do not enter sign. you can put a custom sign in here. You can change the color, and you can put do not enter. That way people will not enter that area, okay? And then on thrill rides, you want to have places for people to sit down because they may get sick and puke. So for here, what we're going to do is just do a boop boop there and that. And then over here, we're going to do boop boop. Oh, nope, nope, nope. That was dumb. 2 benches and a trash can. All right. So there's that. Here, let me let my guy know that. All right. My neighbor called me. Well, maybe, hopefully everything's okay. Okay. So, and then you can put in like lamps and stuff. So you can put, you know, one here and one here and one here and, you know, kind of like that. Kind of, sort of. All right. So there's our first couple of rides. So if we want to charge by the ride, we make that change here. Now we'll jump that up to $2. There's different music you can choose, things like that. Okay. And then on this one, we're going to go back and change the colors a bit. We're going to change this to $3. Not $3.20, $3. Okay. So now let's go ahead and open the park. And I think we can open all rides. Okay, so that's going to start. Now, we got 4,000 bucks left. That's not much. So we need to kind of plan in something cool here. Let's go ahead and get us a cleanup dude going. All right, and Bernard is going to walk around and take care of the trash. Suspended swinging coaster. Okay, so now let's look at our development stuff. We'll go back to shops and rides. We're going to slow down the funding to normal because we've got what we need. And what do we need? I'll show you. We have a coaster with the Mosta, and that would be this guy. Okay? Now, we don't have what I want, which is the stuff I made yesterday. So we're going to do a custom design. This is a will not fail you setup. Okay? Let me just see how far off I need to make it. Let's put it about here. Sure, that looks good. There's a couple ways you can do this because there's several different designs. We're going to set up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go for maximum capacity. Single train, maximum capacity. Shoots out the station. Oh, it's going to run through the station. Then it's going to go into a half loop left or a vertical loop left. Flatten out. On-ride photo section. Vertical again. Vertical loop right. Okay, flatten out, boom, 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 and peek over. Now, we're going to right-click at this end of the ride, and we are going to have it start going up, and it's going to have a reversing lift hill. And then it's going to do that right there. And then we're going to turn off the chain section. Actually, I think that'll work. Entrance, we're going to put on the back side. Why the back side, A-Train? Because then you can make a longer queue line. That's why. And then we're going to put the exit right here. Okay? Now, exit We don't need this banner on the screen. We don't need this banner on the screen. We don't need staff on the screen. Footpaths, type. Boop, boop, oops. Okay, there. There's our footpath. Now we need to make our entrance. We're going to do blue. And we're going to do this, all right? Okay, so we got this here. Oh, now we actually can put the coaster in test. Now, you have to select the mode. In this case, we're going to do reverse incline launched shuttle mode. And we're going to jack the speed up as fast as we can because we want it to cycle as fast as possible. And now we're going to put it in testing. All right, so that's now good to go. All right, so here we're going to work on our path. We got to make sure it gets through this. And it's got to get through this. And it's got to go up and not crash. Good. Now it should go right back through it. And it's going to go through the station, and it's going to ease it back down. So this is kind of like that flashback I described to you earlier, except this is just a different style coaster. Okay? So we're going to go here, 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 here. We're going to go this way. Now we're going to go up, up, over the track, down, down, and I think that'll do. Boom. Okay? Now we got that done. We'll change the colors and all that crap in a minute. Now, let's look at our looping roller coaster. It's a high excitement, high intensity, low nausea. Perfect. We're going to play some cool music. I'm going to actually change it to Dodgems Beat style because I like that. It's jiggity. Open this sucker up. And now we're going to start getting people in the park because now we got a coaster. Okay? We're going to change the name to the Looper because that's what I call the looping roller coaster. We'll just call it German. Sure. And we'll change up the colors because now we're kind of rocking and rolling. All right, we're going to just go with maybe a blue. That's a lot of blue. White. Yeah, you know what? That's cool. Let's do a blue train then with white trim and red on the rails. Sure. That's all right. I like it. All right, so now let's look at the rides. So here's our merry-go-round. Low excitement, low intensity, low nausea rating. Okay? All right? Cool. But then you've got the pirate ship, which has low excitement, low intensity, but it's a little higher, right? See what I'm saying? Now let's see what kids are saying. I want to go on something more thrilling than that, and it was great, right? So there's your kids. They're going to have different levels of excitement and nausea rating that they want to deal with. So that's why you have to have a mix of rides, all right? Is that, you picking up what I'm laying down now? So we got a mix of rides. We're going to put these here. We're going to put this sign here. Boop, boop, boop. And turn on Do Not Enter. All right, cool. That's how you do this. Now, we're going to actually take this. Oh, no, we're not. Oops. Just wasted that money. Excuse me. Oh, crap. My chair caught the stupid mat on the floor. Okay, there we go. Now, creating that loop in the path. Hello? There, good. Creating that loop in the path, what we've done now is we've allowed to spread people out. Okay? So now we've got 3 different rides. We've got the number of guests coming up. Park ratings looking good. Okay? And then you can click on here and you'll start seeing we're making $3,000 an hour. $2,800 profit. Okay. Let's see what the kids are saying. Derlooper was great. Derlooper looks too intense for me. Okay. So there's an idea. Okay. This ride's too gentle. It's the Three Bears concept, right? This bed's too soft. This one's too hard. This one's just right. That's what you're looking to fulfill. And this is a cheap coaster design that allows you to do that. But don't forget the on-ride photo set deal. That's what's making the money. All right. So we got a little stuff going here. Hooray! Okay. And you can hear the Dodgems Beats music, which is cool. The pirate ship, they have has some pirate music you can play. Okay, that's fun and all. So now, what we need to do is bring in a mechanic. Okay. All right. Here's the trick. You can assign work areas to your people by clicking on this blue feet thing. All right. Your patrol area has to catch the exit of a ride. So notice these two rides are right across from each other. Wow, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Yes, it does. All right. So now we're going to go down here, and then we're going to go right here and just move over to catch that. Okay. So now our one mechanic can service all three of those rides. They don't need to go into the entry queue. Archie just needs to get into the exit. Okay. So now he can perform inspections and do maintenance to keep the rides up and running. And what we'll do is we'll actually go on to here and we'll change this to like every hour. And we'll make this one every hour. Not 2 hours, every hour. Okay? And there you go. That's your basic park. All right? And notice we're making money. All right? Now, it's July. We got to get to 250 guests by the end of year one with a park rating of 600. If you look down here, park rating is already 812. We're already kicking ass in that department. Sweet. Okay? So then the question becomes, what can we add, okay, to draw more people in the park? Well, you have some options here. One of the things you can do is if you click on the entry, there's, I think it's this deal. Okay, there's your admission. That's your park stats. Is it this part? Oh, we got Ferris wheel. Cool. Ferris wheel. We've already got a simple ride. That's the merry-go-round. We want something that's going to pull in more kids, something we can make a bigger line for. So the water ride's not going to do us any good. So the thrill ride, we'll do a twist. We can throw a twist over here in the corner. That'll take out a couple of trees. Not a big deal. We'll put the entrance here. Sure. Exit here. Now the colors are all effed up. I get it. Go ahead and turn it on. Get it testing. When you have a quick and dirty scenario like this, sometimes you just can't fap around with it. We'll do green theme for this one. And we're going to cut it over here and go to the corner. And then the exit, we're going to go here. Okay. And then the cost, we're just going to run it to $2. All right. We've already tested. It's got a little bit better ratings than like the merry-go-round. And we can turn on general style music. You can make it run longer or shorter. Okay. But we want to draw kids in and make money. We'll go with green and yellow appearance. I'm going to brighten it up. There. And we'll call it the blender. Okay, cool. Now, not a requirement again, but I like to keep control of the situation, so we'll do this. We'll put a chair right there, benches. Put some benches right here. And then we'll put this right here. So kids will stand there and watch stuff. All right. We've got restrooms, so if you want to know what's going on, the blender is now open, so the blender's getting a line and it will start making money. Cool. All right, now at some point, kids are going to start getting hungry. Blender is really good value, Durloop, which means you could raise the price. I'm not going to, but you could. Park is really clean and tidy. That's good. Stuff was great. I want to go something more thrilling, merry-go-round. You got other options, kid. Go. There's short lines for everything. We're at 218 guests. We're in July. Okay. Music is nice. I'm tired. There's benches so you can go sit down. Okay. And then you can classify them by actions and stuff. So there's your all guests, satisfy, and then you can look at individuals. At some point, the kids are going to get hungry. Okay? So here's what we're going to look to do to satisfy that. You want them to walk. If they walk, they get tired. If they get tired, they get hungry. Does that make sense? Aha. That's how you make money. So let's do a burger stall. We'll do, actually, I'll show you how to do something here. All right, we're gonna set the burgers for $2.50. I think that's okay. And then we want to put some seats out for kids to sit down and eat. But you also want to put out trash cans, otherwise they'll drop trash everywhere. Now notice there's some vomit on the path over there. There's vomit on sweater, mom's spaghetti kind of deal. We puked on my path. And my cleanup person is walking around. Now, we need to get our dude, Archie, we need to add to his patrol area. Because he needs to come over here where he can get to there. All right, so now he can cover all 4 rides, and then we will put this on every hour. Okay? Now, see, there's still Barfosaurus on the path over here. Blech. And we got multiple Barfosaurus. Okay, so we're gonna hire another handyman, and we're gonna bring them over here. Grab them with the hook thingy, which is the coolest thing about this game. And what we'll do is we'll set their patrol path area for this side of the park. And everybody will kind of meet here in the food area. Okay? Then the other person, that's Bernard, we're gonna set his path area for the front gate in. Oops. And down this side. Okay? And then he can check over here. You want to be careful not to get your people trapped. Okay, there we go. And then he can go this area here too. Cool. All right, so we got 1 mechanic, 2 cleanup people. One of the things you can also set up with them is their jobs, including mow the grass. And mowing the grass makes the park look really cool. So you may have some people you just assign to mow the grass. Because watch, they mow the grass. See how it gets a really cool lines in it? Yeah, see? Yeah. There we go. Hooray, we're done. Just like that. All right, we accomplished our goal that quick. All right. So that's how you play Roller Coaster Tycoon. Simple. You get to design roller coasters, build a park. Everybody applauds for you. We didn't have any balloons. I didn't get a balloon stall. If the kids buy a bunch of balloons, which is great, you want them to buy tons of balloons, so when you finish the scenario, they all release their balloons. So all that money just poof, goes up in the air. And then they'll go back and buy more balloons. Because sometimes their balloons will pop or whatever. And if you have a bigger park, what's funny is the balloons will come up in the shape of the pathways where the people were. They'll float up, and then once they hit a certain altitude, they all start popping. You'll start hearing pop, 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 and then the balloons are all gone. So that is how you do that. Enter your name, a train. And that is how you Roller Coaster Tycoon. Now, this ride, Der Looper, if you go to the specs, see how I have the option here to save it? Save track design, and save track design with scenery. I'm going to just save the track design. It's got the supports. I'm happy with those. I want to have the option to change the pathing, but generally this is how I would do it. So we'll just save the track design here. Der Looper, save. Now, with that done, let's go back here. Look here. Look here. And Der Looper is now available. That's the deal. Is I created the ones last night in the RCT2 track designer. They aren't rolling back to RCT1. So you just have to get your park going, make it a sandbox, create some simple designs. We'll cover that again on a different episode, and then play away. Then you can just plug and play, right? Like the flat rides, you just have to drop them in place, set up the queue lines, boom, open the ride. But then you want a scenery around them because that raises the excitement level, makes them more appealing, brings in more money, right? So the coasters, if you have a few drag and drop or just plug and play, it saves time. We could have sat here for a couple of months worth of game time dinking around with design ideas. And this is why you want just simple stuff that gets you, moderate excitement and intensity, or high excitement and intensity, but doesn't cost like $10,000 because you don't have $10,000. You want a $2,000 to $3,000 coaster that you can drop, plug, play, go, and then you're going to be raking in the bucks. And that's what it's all about. Doot. So we finished 250 guests. We had $2,131. Park rating of 820 by the middle of August of year one. So we still had 2.5 months left. Could have done it a little faster if I hadn't fapped around with some things like around the pirate ship and stuff, and the fact that I didn't have the looper stored. So I'll get some designs for RCT1, and the key coasters are this steel looper, the little ladybug coaster, this one, the wooden coaster. The game will not always give you the same ones. Now, you have to research them. Now, you'll get them early enough, but you want to have options. So don't just do Der Looper. You may not start with steel looping coasters. You have to get to them via research. But you may start with the classic mini, or you may start with the wooden coaster. But a lot of these designs are, look how big these designs are. They're huge, right? And I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about right here. Watch this. I'm going to show you how you could build a simple, there's a couple of ways to do this. I can't do while the game's paused. Okay, fine. Do about 5 sections, okay? Then we're going to do a lift hill. I think we got to get up about 35, 40 feet. All right, then we're going to come over the top. And then we're going to start to drop down. and we can do a big turn like that. That gets us down to the ground level. Oops, we got to do that. Okay. And then we're going to come up and over a hill real quick. Right. And then basically do this at the top of the hill. We'll do the on-ride photo section. Boom. Oh, see, now we need more money. All right. Even this is it's going to be a couple $1,000s. Okay. So, but that's, I mean, you're just looking at something simple that you can just drag and drop or plug and play, and it will bring you tons of money early on to help you achieve your goals for the game, for the scenario. And then it will also allow you, I'm going to change this to wooden and change the colors to umber and yellow. Sure. There we go. It'll allow you to accomplish the scenario and then make a lot of cash quick so that you can build bigger rides and expand the park and then, you know, get more money, more people coming in and what have you. See how cool it looks when you have the grass mode? And over time, it will eventually go down to being plain like this, and then it will go to weeds like this. So, yeah. All right. So there you have it, folks. Roller Coaster Tycoon. I hope you enjoyed that. It's just so much fun. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like. Share with your friends. Let them know about the channel. Let them know about Roller Coaster Tycoon, the classic game. Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe and Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 Triple Thrill Pack are now available on Steam for less than $5 together. And then if you have a modern machine, you just go to Open RCT2. Okay? Get that. It's a free download. Follow the instructions. There's stuff online. You can ask me. I kind of know how to do it. I figured it out. I asked a couple of questions. They have a Discord, and they'll get you all set. Boom. You'll be playing Roller Coaster Tycoon on your computer in no time. And it's fun. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with me on a Sunday and dealing with the fact that I sound like snot. But, yeah, lots of fun. So, appreciate you. And like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that bell icon so you know when we go live or upload a video. Join us on Discord. Link in the description below, as is the link to our Twitter/X page. You can follow us and keep up with the latest and greatest. And when we are going live next. Also, if you want to make a donation to help support the channel, that would be swell. You're greatly appreciated. You can do that via PayPal, and there's a link in the description as well. All right, gangs. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're in North Texas or anywhere that's threatened by the winter storm, please stay warm. Practice safety precautions. Stay off the roads. Drip your pipes. Do more than drip. Trickle your pipes. Plant pets pipes. Take care of everybody. And have a great rest of your weekend. And have a great day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are on planet Earth or beyond. I'm A-Train. It's over. And I'm out.